Today is an important day.
A huge one. Today basically is the day that's gonna tell us if we are gonna untie the lines in 2 days or not.
I'm Roberta.
And I'm Duca.
And together we are on the mission of bringing this sailboat that was neglected for over 22 years back to life.
So don't forget to subscribe and to join us every Monday for a new episode.
Another test with the engine. What's going on?
Of course, expectation and reality not necessarily are the same thing. An engine trial is something that you need to do a few times because you're not gonna see every little detail on the first time, and the engine is actually working perfectly. But we found a noise on a vibration on the drive shaft. Just a small vibration. We could set sail like that, but I think it's better just to check, just to make sure everything's okay. So we decide today to take the drive shaft off. So we send the drive shaft to the shop so they can align, and that's a simple thing. They're gonna send it back in 2 days. We just install back in place, go for another trial, and things are done.
But when we took the drive shaft out...
Check this out. You know what's that? One of you guys comment on last week's video right after we found this out. When we installed the propeller, you know, the Castel nut, the other propeller was a little bit shorter, the center, I mean a little bit longer, and this one a little bit shorter. That means that the nut went a little bit more in, and that means that the little thing that crossed didn't go on the proper place, and we saw that right when we did. But I thought it was, nah, it's close enough, it's gonna be fine. But I think our propeller is loose, and that means in order to make sure that's the problem, I'll need to dive in this dirt water.
Lucky that's not me that's gonna go there.
Yeah, I didn't dream with the day. I mean, I dreamed with the day that I would swim from the boat, but I didn't dream would be on a, like, I don't know, such a dirt water.
We were here for 2 years and we were okay. We have never been inside this water, but now is the time.
Yeah, it's just so dirt, the water. But the thing is, if this is the problem, it's a simple fix, but that means we need to go to the travel lift, lift the boat, take the nut off, put a spacer, put the nut back, splash the boat again, and just we are good to go. Or we could do diving, but we have no diving compressor, so we need to hire a diver. I think it's more expensive to hire a diver than just to lift the boat on the travel lift.
And I think another problem is that if we lose any single piece, it's impossible to find in this water because it's like a mud.
Yeah, it's really, really muddy. I'm gonna go down now just to make sure the propeller is a little bit loose, because if that's not the problem, we need just to tighten up a little bit more this nut here. But before we do that, I think I should try the propeller first.
Right.
Not really. But that's something important to do. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh! Poor Duca.
But the good or bad news?
Good.
I'm not sure if it's that. That's the problem.
But this is good news?
Good or bad, I'm not sure, because maybe it's just the nut on the front. And if that's the problem, we are really good.
Just stay as it is?
Let's check again. I don't think so. Not the bad news number 2. We lost the front anode.
Seriously?
I have no idea how, because it was really, really tight. It's definitely not this nut. This nut is fine.
As Duca is in the water, it's time to clean the hull a little bit.
Everyone said here in the marina that if you have a little bit of green, just take it out and you won't have barnacles here in the marina. But as soon as you have, you should clean, otherwise you're gonna have barnacles. So as I'm on the water, I'm just gonna wipe a little bit the green. I'll be right back. So dirt. I think that's good for today.
Yeah.
We have one good news. It's not the propeller. Second bad news, we lost one anode. That's easy. We just we already ordered a new one, so we can just screw in place, it's fine. The other bad news is that I think is the nut on the inside, but I believe that's really easy and simple to solve.
I already have all your
Belongings?
belongings here.
Give me a hug.
No, thanks. I'm trying to organize the boat as the plan is to set sails in 5 days. So I just found a perfect wood to put here on the top of the sensor. So in this way we can protect the sensor and we can put the life vest there. So it's an easy way to get them if we need. We hope we don't need them. They're here now. It seems that it was made for it. It's perfect. So let's go to the next step.
The net on the propeller is tight, still the pin is not on the perfect position, but we're going to talk about that later. First we're going to solve this problem. This is loose.
In the beginning I thought, it's easy. You get the old engine, we take it out and we put another one. But there are so many other things involved in the changing of an engine.
When you replace an engine, you need to think about everything. And of course, you're going to say, oh, so you did a bad job. No, it's just something that you cannot predict. You need to go for a sea trial many times before you can guarantee that everything's okay. And this is probably because we had no power on the shaft, so we tied it up with a impact driver, and that was properly tied. But probably when the engine spins really fast with a lot of it, like 3000 rpm, it puts extra force, and then somehow it wasn't tight enough. It's a simple job. We just need a couple hours of work. Good. Just a quick explanation. If I take this nut out of, doesn't mean the shaft is gonna fall. There are different diameters of this shaft around here, so this whole thing is holding it together. This won't let the shaft slide. You can tell by this is loose and the shaft is not going anywhere, so it's okay. I can take this out and it's gonna be fine.
Just a quick test.
The noise is here. This is loose as it was. If I tie this up, let's see what happens. I didn't tie enough, it's just for the test. No noise anymore.
That means this was the problem.
Now the problem is, in order to put the pin back, it's not on the right spot. That's it. First step, fix it. The way we did to fix, we just sand a little bit the back of this nut, and in this way the nut was able to go a little bit farther, and then we, instead of using one of these little holes, we used the next one, and then we tied it up better than it was. And now, check this out. No noise at all. That's pretty good. That's the first half of the problem. The second half is the drive shaft that we already sent to the shop, and later today it's coming back. We're going to install back in place. If everything goes according to plan, in 4 days we set sail. We can't wait. It's just like we have so many things to do in 4 days, but I think we can pull this off. So, next step, we had a visit from Gabi from North Sails. He is our sail maker and he came to check how the sails were and also to help us to solve an old problem. When we decided to replace the mast of our sailboat, we changed from a cutter rig to a Solent rig. And when we did that, we also wanted to change the position of the small genoa. Now the small genoa line will run, the sheet will run in between the stay and the mast, and in order to do that we needed somehow to limit the position and to choose the right position for the sheet. And for that we used a low friction ring and a spectral line that we can tie a nut on the feet of the mast and also a nut on the tow rail. And in this way we can position the sheet of the sail wherever we want and have a much better performance of the sail.
We are counting the days to set sails, so we are installing things that we consider that are kind of essential for us.
Yeah, and things that we don't have the tools to do as soon as we leave here, because some things like battery monitor is not essential, it's really good, will help us so much, but in order to do that we need the crimper, the big one that's from Fred, and we are leaving town in 4 days. We need to give it back to Fred, so that means we need to do that. And also because we are always curious to see, to monitor our batteries. It's been a long time we have these sitting and not having time to install. We're gonna leave the marina and set sail with a lot of pending? Yeah, I think a lot of things we didn't do that we wanted to do, but we're gonna do later while we enjoy the boat. Yeah. But now I'm trying to understand the whole system because there are so many little wires to connect to this. So the small wires that connects to this we have here. Yeah. The idea today and tomorrow is to at least have the wind instrument, depth instrument and speed instrument installed. This battery monitor. Hopefully the battery isolation manager that will make possible for us to charge our batteries, our lithium batteries, house batteries with the engine, because right now we can only charge the engine battery, and that's not good because once we leave here, if we need shore power, if we don't have shore power, we're gonna be off grid 100%. So we are gonna try to do that, or at least get the wires ready to give the creeper back to Fred. And other than that, we need to try to install the sharp plotter on the top of here because it's a big thing to have loose inside of the boat.
We won't be able to install the autopilot, I guess.
Yeah, first trip, first crossing, no autopilot. But I don't know if you told you, but we're gonna have friends with us, and that's really good. And it's gonna be nice. We're gonna have friends to share the shifts because no autopilot for 2.5, maybe 3 days is no good for 2 persons. No.
So let's get started.
Let's do this. So we are creating bigger holes so we can fill up with epoxy, because this is plywood epoxy, so we cannot have water on the plywood, so we're just sealing everything now with epoxy. And where we're gonna have screws, we're gonna fill up with epoxy, and then the screws gonna get only on the epoxy, not on the plywood. So these 4 screws are to hold the support for the sharp plotter in place, and these 3 smaller ones, here, here and here, are gonna be screwed on the ceiling of the boat. That's the idea.
Scary.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine, but we need to do that before the epoxy dry because we forgot the hose and then the epoxy is drying already.
Yeah, let's go.
So this is for safety actually. We bought this because in case you break your mast, you need to have this to cut these stays. These pliers just for safety is gonna be just stored and hoping we're never gonna use unless we need to cut thick wires. Help a lot. I need marker.
Look who's back!
I'm back, and the shaft's back. That's it, drive shaft's in place. Now the mechanic's coming, we're gonna tie it up in place, try to align as best as possible, because tomorrow we need to move the boat, go to the travel lift, lift the boat, take out the nut from the propeller, add a washer, nut again, pin, and we're good to go.
Today is an important day.
A huge one. Today basically is the day that's gonna tell us if we are gonna untie the lines in 2 days or not. So now we're gonna just warm up the engine and we're gonna move the boat back to the travel lift. If everything goes according to plan, then we're good to go. If somehow
there is no if, yeah, it's gonna go.
Yeah, need to go well because we have a really good weather window to leave here on Monday. And also, tomorrow we have 3 crew coming, and that's pretty cool. Who's coming?
MP from Sailing Aba, and Gabi and Lucy from Sailing to Shep. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this. Foi muito bom ser teu vizinho, tá quase. Pode ir, soltou? Tá solto, velho? That's it, we're out of the water, let's get to work, quick!